Hey, welcome to YouKeepMeGoing.com. I have Dr. Rich here with me. We're learning a lot, and this time we're going to talk about a controversial topic, emotional drama. What is emotional drama? And it seems that it's everywhere.
Definitely. Emotional drama is everywhere, and this is exactly what most people live. We live inside our bodies with the perception that life is happening to us, that we are sort of a bad extra in our own movie. Okay, and unfortunately, when that happens, we get trapped. We get trapped in that role. You know, I tell people we're all wonderful actors when you think about it. You can go to work and you act in a certain way. You go with your husband, you act in a certain way. You're with your children, you act in a certain way. You go to church, you act in a different way. So we're all wonderful actors. So why do we get stuck in playing the same role all the time of ourselves? Whereas we could just choose a different role and play that. Choose a role of somebody that you like a little better than yourself. If you like being more outgoing, well, just pretend that you're more outgoing and be that person. If you like to be a little bit more spiritual, well, do spiritual things. Act in a spiritual way. You know, if you want to be a little bit more sexy, well be more sexy. But we are in conflict with that. We think that we're stuck with the role that we have now and that the only role that we could ever play is the one that we're playing now.
Very interesting. And a lot of times we are playing a role that we don't want to be, and that's all we know. And we're stuck in, I don't want to be this angry person. I don't want to be this, pessimistic woman. But we're stuck there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are pessimistic because we continue to think in pessimistic ways. We see ourselves as somebody that does not enjoy life. So our view of ourselves has to change. You have to, in order to not be pessimistic, you have to start pretending, acting like somebody who is optimistic. And then a good question to ask yourself is that what if the opposite of what I thought is true is true? You know, what if it were exactly the other way around? What if instead of my being really timid, I was really gregarious and I would talk to people and I would enjoy everybody that I met? You know, what would happen if I would act that way? And then go ahead and do it. You know, a thought without action is dead. We got to make some actions. We got to take some actions in the direction of where we want to go. So start being who you want to be and not being who you think you are.
Start being who you want to be. It's so important. For those that know who they want to be, it's great. They already can take a second step. Mm-hmm. So what happens when you know where you want to be?
When you know where you want to be, you don't have any problems because most people that know who they want to be, we see them. These are the people that we call celebrities. These are the people that we turn to. The celebrity could be somebody like your next door neighbor. You know, he's a wonderful carpenter and he loves being a carpenter, you know, and you could see it that there's joy in everything that he does. He's being exactly who he wants to be. But then you could get some other person that's maybe a police officer that really wants to be a doctor and he's a terrible police officer. If he's angry all the time and he's a bad cop, you know, because he doesn't want to be a cop. He really sees himself as somebody that's actually wants to help people as opposed to somebody that wants to go out and chase bad people.
So if I don't want to be the angry mom, let's say, and I want to find a role model and then I want to start practicing what that person does?
Exactly. Look at your children. You know, if you have little children, it's a wonderful school. Children teach us more about life than anybody. If a child constantly is imitating something else, they want to play cops and robbers, they want to play Superman, Spider-Man, whatever it is, and they become Spider-Man. They don't think about Spider-Man, they become Spider-Man. The same thing if you find a role model in your life that is very loving, that is a good mother, that is very compassionate, that is very attached to her children, imitate that person. Pretend you are that person. See your life through those person's eyes, and I guarantee you that your children will change and your life will change.
Start from you, and then everything else around you will start changing.
Exactly.
So, why is it so important to get rid of this emotional drama?
It's important not necessarily to be rid of it, but to understand that the drama itself is artificial, that it does not exist, that we are the authors of this drama. We are writing it, we are producing it, we are editing it, the whole thing. So Just understand that we are actually more than the actors, we are creators, and that what we see outpictured in our lives is our own creation. When we understand that, we begin to create a world that is much more attractive to us.
Once I heard something like that. If you want to start living the life you want, you need to stop being the victim and start being the creator.
Absolutely. You definitely have to do that. One of the things that I see repeated in people again and again and again is this notion that they have no control over their lives. You've got to understand that you have nothing but control of your life, that you are always in control, and that is the major shift. When somebody really makes a shift in their consciousness is when they start understanding that everything that is happening to me right now is my fault, is my responsibility. Until you're willing to take the blame for the way that your life is right now, you cannot begin to change it. You know, we cannot use things on the outside as our scapegoats. We actually have to look at our lives and say, everything that's here right now, I created. And if I created this, my Lord, I could create something a lot better than this too.
That's very powerful. So, as you see, there is a way, and Dr. Rich is going to take us by the hand and show us how you can change your life today. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.
You bet.